Hi all, welcome back. Have you ever wondered how companies like Amazon, Netflix, or Swiggy handle millions of records every day? Yeah, of course. Data comes from multiple databases, APIs, files, and many other data sources. Before business can analyze it, data must be collected, cleaned, and stored, right? So that is where ETL and ELT comes into picture. So today we will be exploring on ETL and ELT in a simple words. So let's move in. Every company stores the data in different places, whether it can be an app database, CRM, spreadsheets, or any third-party APIs. A data engineer's job is to bring all this data together and make it useful, right? But all this raw data isn't perfect. It contains duplicates, missing values, and inconsistent formats, everything. So, before it's ready for analytics, it needs some processing. That is where getting data out of the sources into a usable shape in one place is entirely a job of a ETL or an ELT. So this is what exactly the ETL and ELT helps us to do. So let's dive into the three common steps. As we all know, whether it's ETL or ELT, every pipeline has three stages. First, extract the data from different sources. Second, transform the data by cleaning it and applying business rules. And finally, load the data into the final warehouse. The only difference between ETL and ELT is where this transformation step takes place. So let's explore one by one. So ETL, where transformation happens before load. Imagine of a restaurant where food is fully prepared in a kitchen before it's served, where the cooking is made apart, only the finished dish is served on the table. So similarly, here the data is cleaned and validated before it is pushed to the data warehouse. So here, before anything reaches the warehouse, it is stopped in a staging kitchen. There, it's chopped, cleaned, cooked into shape so that only the finished and the trustworthy dish reaches the table. That is what ETL does. Now, coming to EL and T, where load happens first and then transformation takes place. So here it's an open kitchen concept where you skip the prep station, cook everything fresh on demand. So here nothing is prepared ahead of time. The raw ingredients directly goes into the open kitchen where they are cooked on demand using the kitchen's own horsepower. Here, horsepower refers to the kitchen stoves. So, here the raw data is loaded first and transformation happens inside the powerful cloud data warehouses like Snowflake, or we have understood ETL and ELT. Now, let's see what are their major differences. So, in terms of transforming, in ETL, we load the data only after transforming, whereas in ELT, we load it inside the data warehouse and then transform it based on the requirements. Then coming to the data quality perspective, whether it's a volume fit. So here ETL ensures only validated and the clean data is stored, where ELT stores the raw data first, allowing multiple versions of transformations later. Coming to speed to land to data. Again, it's a performance. ETL uses a separate server for transformation, reducing the load on the warehouse, whereas ELT leverages the compute power of modern cloud warehouses like Snowflake, BigQuery, etc. Coming to flexibility perspective, once ETL transforms the data, changing the business logic often requires rerunning the pipeline. Whereas In the ELT, it keeps the raw data so that you can create new reports and transformations anytime. This is in the flexibility perspective. Now, coming to the storage point of view, ETL requires less storage because only clean data is saved, whereas ELT needs more storage since it retains both raw and transformed data set. So at last, talking about the scalability, ETL works well for traditional workloads, heavy and legacy systems, whereas ELT scales much better for cloud native and big data environments. ETL prioritizes data quantity, whereas ELT prioritizes speed and flexibility. So which kitchen fits your data restaurant? So here the answer depends on the business requirements. So ETL is chosen when your industry has strict compliance and requirements like banking and healthcare, where data must be validated before it's stored, and you're working on some legacy or on-prem systems. Data volumes are relatively small in case of ETL, and the quality is more important than speed. Then we choose the approach of ETL. We choose ELT when you're working on the cloud native stacks, whether it is Azure Synapse, BigQuery, Snowflake, etc. If you're processing a huge amount of data every day, then ELT is a very good approach. Business, which frequently ask new questions requiring more flexible transformations, where analysts need to explore raw data freely, then ELT is a very good approach. Faster data availability is the major priority in ELT. That is when we need to choose the ELT approach. So let us see some of the tools for ETL and ELT. For ETL, we have tools like Informatica, Talent, and Microsoft Sys, whereas for EL&T, we have Fivetran and DBT, Airbyte, Snowflake, Google BigQuery, etc. So these are some of the tools for different approaches. So in conclusion, to summarize all these things, ETL focuses on cleaning data before storage, where ELT focuses on loading the data quickly and transforming it later. Both solve these problems, but they take different approaches. As a data engineer, understanding both is essential because different organizations, different approaches. So ETL builds the trust before the storage, whereas ELT builds the speed before the structure. Right choice comes down to your volume of data, your and the needs, and how fast you need the answers. So I hope you understood which kitchen to be chosen for your data. From this video, you would have got the understanding of ETL and ELT. Thank you.
That's all for now. Like and subscribe and turn on notifications for future videos. Thank you.